Alrighty, welcome to another edition of Achievement College, my step-by-step guide to getting you that gamer score. Okay, now we've finished our first playthrough of Afterparty. This video is going to cover the Lola playthrough. If you don't know what that means, you need to see the rest of the series where we covered all the decisions you need to make to get the right ending for the Milo playthrough. And as I said, this is going to cover the what's her name again? Lola playthrough. Now, I'm not covering the whole playthrough. I'm just going to cover the certain decisions and different things that we need to do in order to get the 3 remaining achievements, guys. The main overarching achievement is to play as Lola after fighting with Milo. I think it's called He Wasn't Helping That Much Anyway. The decisions that we're going to need to make for this playthrough, you don't have to make, I've tested this out, you don't have to make every single one of them, but you have to make the majority of these decisions. You need to distract the bouncer in the schoolyard strangler. That's because Lola is the one who wants to do that. You need, while helping Fella, you need to pick Greg as the bad person. That'll make more sense when we get up to it. When you meet Satan for the first time, pick Lola as the person that speaks to Satan. Now, in my playthrough, I didn't even get that choice in my Lola playthrough. So just be wary of that. You may not have to do it. I didn't do it, and I probably won't cover it in this video. When trying to get Asmodeus's seal, get Asmodeus and Beth back together and throw the dance competition. And that is very, very important for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's what Lola wants to do. And number 2, there's a separate achievement for reuniting Beth and Asmodeus. And we didn't go down that track in the original playthrough. Okay, the next decision is when trying to get Apollyon's seal. Make sure that Mr. Spaghetti gets sent to heaven, and you do that by letting them show the demon's guilty letter, which again is what Lola wants to do. Make all those decisions and then get up to the part where Lola and Milo fight, and you'll get the final achievement of Pop. Before that, I did mention before that we're going to be helping Fella, and while we're helping him, we're going to get an invite from him, and that's going to be the 3rd remaining achievement. But we're probably going to get that 1st or 2nd during this playthrough anyway. Alright guys, that explains what's about to come. Let's get into those decisions, and I'll show you exactly where they are. Okay, for this first one, you want to play through the game until we get to the Schoolyard Strangler. You can see there we've just met Tommy at the bar. We have a decision to make. Milo wants to go and speak to Tommy and try and get invited upstairs off him. Lola's idea is to distract this bouncer, you can see here, by making these 2 argue even more, distracting the bouncer and allowing us to go upstairs. So for this playthrough, we're going to do that one. So what you want to do is just grab a drink and go and have a chat to them. Choose the different coloured options, stir up the fight, distract the bouncer, and up we go. Alright, we'll move on to the next decision. Okay, now you want to play through until you get to Satan's house and you realise you can't get into his party and you need to go and get an invite. And you have a choice to make. You can go and get the invite off Linda or Fella. Make sure you pick Fella for this particular playthrough. We already got the invite off Linda in the previous playthrough. So you're going to have to make your way back to the taxi from here. Head over and help Fella, and you'll find him at Bobolene Park, or however you want to say it, I'm not sure, but it's shown here on screen, guys. Choose that destination and off we go. And once you arrive, all you need to do is head upstairs, and the next character you'll come across will be Fella. He's going to ask you to come to the bar with him and sort out his little problem. Go along with him. It's very, very straightforward, and I'll join you guys back in the bar when we need to make another decision. Okay, once you get to the bar, talk to everyone around the bar during the investigation and make sure you focus on Greg, and eventually you'll head back outside and you'll talk to Fella again and make sure you tell him that it's Greg. There we go.
I was expecting like Samuel or something.
And with that all sorted out, Fella's going to give us his invite, and that'll pop our first achievement for this playthrough. There we have it. Very, very easy. Alright, we'll move on to the next decision, guys. Now, keep playing through the game. As you know, you're going to head back to Satan's house, and he's going to tell you before you can play the drinking game with him, you're going to need to go and get 2 Monarchs Seals. The first one we're going to do is Asmodeus. So here we go. We're choosing Thrall City. This is after we've met Satan. Now we're heading to find Asmodeus. Okay, and once you arrive at Thrall City, instead of heading off to the right and up the elevator towards the nightclub, make sure you go up these stairs here where the pink lighting is. Head up these stairs, and what you're going to do is head across to the left where you're going to run into Beth for the first time. Go and meet up with her. I'll just show that in just a second. And here it is as you get to the significant cellar. There we are. Beth will drop from the sky and land on top of Milo. Have a quick chat with her. Nothing really needs to happen here. No decisions or anything like that. Just chat with Beth and then head over to where we find Asmodeus at the Skull or whatever it's called at that club. And I'll meet you guys there. And here we are at Skull. We've met Asmodeus and we've followed him upstairs where he does the Death Day announcements or whatever. And he's going to offer Milo a drink. Now, I'm not sure if you can actually avoid this, but just in case you did, I thought I'd include it in this video. You need to make sure that Milo has the drink and spits out his conscience, because we need Milo to not have the conscience so that we can get into the nightclub where Beth is. So make sure you play through to here, get rid of Milo's conscience, and shortly after that, we're going to get our next decision. Lola wants to reunite Asmodeus and Beth, and Milo just wants to go and do the dance competition. So obviously we're going to play as Lola and we're going to choose to go see Beth. So now we're going to head back to the significant cellar and I'll see you guys there. Okay, head inside the significant cellar. Grab a drink, preferably this one right here. And what you want to do is head off to the right and speak to Beth and her friends, and always just steer the conversation towards Beth and Asmodeus reuniting. And eventually Beth's friends are going to get up and head over to the bar, and you'll find that you can't quite convince Beth to get back with Asmodeus. So what you're going to need to do is now head over to the bar and speak to Beth's friends. They're going to give you a little bit of a tip about a song that was important to Asmodeus and Beth. Then what you want to do is come back over here, use this the jukebox, play the song. Beth will decide she wants to go back to Asmodeus, have another chat to Beth, and then we'll meet them, or she'll come with us over to Asmodeus. Let's do it. And the final step in this elaborate plan to get Beth and Asmodeus back together and therefore grab our achievement and work towards our Lola playthrough is playing as Milo, join the dance competition, and all I did to lose the dance competition or to throw a dive is just not press any buttons for the duration of the dance competition, and then we'll see Beth and Asmodeus get back together. We'll grab our nice achievement and we can move on to the next part of the playthrough.
But I was wrong. I have in my possession a signed confession from the warlock himself that will
So continue through the game. You're going to head down the pathway of trying to get Apollyon's seal. That's going to lead you to this court scene here. You're going to get a decision whether or not to allow the confession to be heard. Make sure you allow it to be heard. Just choose anything that looks like it's helping Roberto or Mr. Roberto Spaghetti. Make sure you let that confession be heard, which is what Lola wants to do. Then we're going to end up back at Satan's house. Here at Satan's house, Lola and Milo are going to have their little argument. This is where the achievement will pop, guys. That is the final achievement of the game. If you really want to, you can play through to the end of the game, especially if you needed one of the separate endings. You can play through to the end, grab the rest of the achievements. But that's it for us, guys. That's going to be the end of this video and the end of this series. I have really actually hated this game. I really don't even like calling it a game. But anyway, guys, I hope this has helped a lot of you get through the game a bit easier and a little bit less pain, I guess. If it has helped, don't forget to drop us a like, post a comment, subscribe to my channel. Consider supporting the channel over on Patreon. That's basically the only place I make any money out of any of this, guys, and allows me to keep making guides like this. So please consider supporting me over there. And oh, there's the bell, guys. You know what that means. Class dismissed.